Well, we're in a different place today because we're getting ready. I guess you leave in a matter of hours for Perth. We got a start of the new season for everyone this time, I guess.
Yes, it's basically it's our first competition, no?
Yeah.
As the new entity, if you want to call it this way. It's always us, but yes, it feels the way, and we are happy to go under the with no responsibilities, of course, because responsibilities is on the people fence under New South Wales, so that's the state responsibility to make results. Also, there are people more accredited than us, more people who live of fencing 24/7. People have invested so much more. We're just simple people. As I always said, honesty and competence is on our side. We have a very young team, some exceptions, but people are very young. And so I guess all the top 8 places are going to be taken by the professionals. We try to be competitive and to disturb as more as we can. That's our goal.
Yeah. I think, well, I guess now would be a good time though to talk about start of the seasons in general, not just our sort of domestic season, but now we're lining up with the world. We've got not too long now before the first World Cup. It's only a couple of months. The first ones, yeah, because the first ones are in the end of this year.
Yes, they always start.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting after the Olympic Games.
It's always a reset, right? Like it's a
very nice, a nice curiosity to see what happens. The team, some of them will reshuffle, some people will stop, some they will be made stop by their coaches or by the teams or by the ranking, whatever. So we'll see if the teams will start planning ahead and start running for the next Olympic cycle. I believe, let's say I talk in 10 seconds about foil, then I'll let you do your perspective. Let's say I believe this is Chung's time, and it will. It's only the beginning, and I believe it will last for a while, and deservedly so. But I'm very curious to see Filippo Macchi now.
Yeah.
Even more, he's sure to be very interested in many ways, and a deserved silver medal at the Olympic Games. And let's see. And then let's see what the others do. But these are 2 in men foil that I believe they will do a lot. And as you know, I'm a big fan of Japanese fencing. So I want to see how they keep evolving, especially the team that has won the Olympic Games.
And it's such a young team too, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
the oldest I think is only Matsuyama, right?
It might be the oldest, but it's not an old guy.
Not at all.
They have definitely another 4 years in them, and surely somebody else will come from underneath. Even with women, of course, Italy, as usual, they're the strongest, even when they don't win. The school, the Italian school for women foil is huge. It's got an history amazing, and I was lucky enough to live a part of it, thanks to my amazing coach, an amazing person, my friend. I'm honored to say Andrea Magro. I changed T-shirt for him.
That was one of the questions, actually.
I did. It's a Juve T-shirt, but I did change it.
Oh, okay, there you go. So you can change, but only to other Juve T-shirts.
To other only Juve T-shirts.
Okay.
Which is my weakness. Juve is my weakness. Because
I
don't, my mind doesn't go really with what they do and believe sometimes, but I've grown up with their way. For Italy, in Italy is like a religion, so very hard to change. I tried to quit, man. It didn't work. Plus now they're playing better, so that's okay. Anyway, beyond the soccer, parenthesis. Women foil will be Italy as usual. There will be the older ones, the younger ones. I'm very curious to see if Ferrigo keeps going. She's always my favorite, but age goes for everybody. But let's see. She's got no limits, I think. And the American continent has proven to be
incredible.
Incredible is the right word, and remarkable, and so on. Let's see where French go. Let's see if Japanese come up. Let's see what Hong Kong, I believe they will bring also the women team. They've been more known for the male team so far, and many others. I'm sure I forget some, and there will be new ones. There will be new countries coming up. I believe even small countries, even with less tradition, they can take something. After all, we did something. We in the past when we were part of we had the responsibility to lead the Australian team. We brought somebody to get in the top 16 in the world, as individual. We brought the team to be top 12 in the world for 5 years. Let's see if people can do better, but there was already an achievement, and I believe to improve the top 16, you need to get in the 8.
Yeah.
So that's the goal for any country, including Australia. You need to bring people in the top 8 at senior level to improve what was done before. So let's see. I'm very curious to see. What about Epe? What do you think? We are coming out from an interesting Olympic Games there too.
Yeah, it was one of the ones where I think for the first time, and in a bit of a strange way for Olympic Games, the status quo, so to speak, was sort of upheld. You know, normally the Olympic Games is a young.
It changes.
Yeah, it's normally there's something with a 18 or 19-year-old who has suddenly a fantastic. This time seemed more normal.
Vivian
somehow.
Kong.
Yeah, Vivian was number one, and
she's the strongest, obviously, at the moment.
I think the big one will be, like we touched on before, people aging out or stopping. I know the big one that was almost a shock was apparently Vismara has retired, and he was young too. So it's not someone who was at the end of his career, but I know he was fighting through a couple of injuries even through last year. So we'll see where everything goes. Epe seems to be a bit more random, maybe is the right word, but I guess more in the sense of it's not normal, or it's not as normal that you'll see if you're top 16, they're going to be top 16 ranking going to the competition. A lot of the time you'll get someone who, anyone from sort of in the 32 is a reasonable chance to make a podium. The podiums are more varied throughout a season. I think that it'll be interesting for sure to see whether the Italian women's team stays the same after the games, because that was fantastic. But again,
that was amazing. I must say, there was a very special, I believe, for them in France against the French team.
Yeah, huge. But again, this is one of the ones where I think the whole team is 30s, early 30s to mid 30s, and whether or not they decide that they want to keep them for 4 years or they change it.
As I always say, in the end, we see it from far away, literally. So that's the problems of countries who have choices, but these are very good problems to have. Yeah. And again, let's see if even in EP, like it can be in Sabre, if new teams or new people come out. In Sabre, quickly, it's easy to imagine that Korea is going to keep going, at least as a team, because to have 4, 5 or 6 at that level, it seems like nobody's been able to put it together. The Hungarian team has been amazing. That one, if you're talking about age, there's going to be a limit there too, but I don't want to stop or put limit to anybody.
If you're going to talk about anyone going longer, the Hungarians had Deshi he was about 40 by the time.
Forever, and Zilac is not young, and Zatmari is not, but they might be there in 4 years even winning. So I wish for them, because their fencing, I believe, is absolutely beautiful. My favorite in Sabre. I have no doubts about Hungarian Sabre. Let's see all the others. I'm sure they will be the Americans running and trying to go up as usual. They're brave and bold, like they say in their anthem. That part I admire from them. And let's see what happens locally too. I wish, of course, our country to do the best. Yeah. All right.
We have some questions that got left.
Questions from people online that I don't see because I don't have sources.
I filtered out a lot of them for you. There were some
insults. Doesn't matter. You can keep.
No, they weren't insults, but some of them were interesting. Your son in particular asked who you think the GOAT is at the academy.
My son writes there. At our academy.
Yeah, I said it's Ricky. It's Ricky. He hasn't been here for a while, but it has to be Ricky.
Ricky, fantastic. Yeah. The boy that never aged.
No, never.
The boy that we got, he was 4 years old, and he kept being 4 years old after 4 years. Yeah. All right. We can't say it was the big, but there we love them, everybody there. So we will never say.
Everyone's our favorite. Okay. The first question, we'll go from an interesting order. The first one was tips to not lose at 14-all in a match.
I'm always the wrong person for any technical advice or these things, because I like the word relative in there, which means there's no easy things. So in that sense, I never satisfy people when they come, oh, give me something quick, because quick for me doesn't, I like food. Yeah. I like it slow. And the answers are more complicated than that. Anyway, zero tips. Also, I wouldn't be the right person as much as I'm a coach and I got some experience.
I'd say something similar. My track record is fantastic at 14-14.
What you feel, what you feel in that moment is very important. If you feel too much the moment, champions would tell you that's not the right thing to do. The easier you go, the better. But I let the athletes do it. I remember the experience with a fencer I was so lucky to coach, an honor to coach for a while. At that point, she was doing the right choice, more than the coach.
Okay. The second question was, can you change shirt? And I think we answered that already. You can.
Andrea should be happy that Udinese, his team and his hometown, is actually first in the Italian Serie A. So that's enough. Changing t-shirt with me, I can't change. It would be like changing my heart. I can't.
The next one was, what do you feel the responsibilities are as a coach, not just as like a personal coach, but as the coach of the academy and things like that? Where do you feel the main responsibilities are?
That part I like it because I always said it. I think we are teachers. And we teach something. But even if you're trainers, like the coach and teacher can be slightly different. I think we have a duty to improve people. Then good coaches, good teachers improve what they have. If you have a team that is third division, you need to make that team go in second division. You can't think I want to go to the Olympic Games because it doesn't make sense. If you're fencing, if you are coaching one person, you improve that person. If you're coaching an academy, you need to improve the young ones, the little ones that want to learn. You need to improve the medium. There's so much. As long as you improve people who are around us, I think that's the job. Yeah. And it's very important. I know amazing coaches that they don't have a team at the moment, or high-level team, but sure, they'll be able to do amazing things even with one person. Yeah. Or with a small team or with a young team, doesn't matter. So improving is the responsibility. And always be nice and always remember that these people are coming, they have dreams. They need to be respected, their body, their minds. I had recently somebody coming with a huge injury from another country, huge injury at the back, at the spine. Yeah. If I was the coach who has done this, I would be ashamed. Doesn't matter if this person is going to win the Olympic Games tomorrow. But truth is, they've attempted at her health. I would never go back to that coach. But it looks like they did.
Next one. How does coaching affect your fencing, or the other way around?
Again, not the best question for me because I was not a champion, so it doesn't really matter if affecting my fencing or not. When I started coaching, I basically stopped fencing almost immediately. I started when I was in Germany doing my doctorate, if you like it, here with dictatorships. That's why I spot dictators quicker. And I worked with a French coach who made me coach and said, look, he said, stop fencing, which was easy because I wasn't a great fencer. And so the transition wasn't so problematic, and then it carried on. I fenced a little bit after because in Italy, I think by fencing you bring points to the team, whatever. But it was like a kind of retired fencer. This is a question that would go much better with a former champion. That's what they feel, or a former good fencer. Anyway,
we'll get Beppe on the podcast and circle back. I guess that could be a good one. We could get Beppe or someone like that on the podcast, and we can circle back to that question.
He can be somebody that can relate to that question. Okay. I think that totally two different things. But when I see now some people who actively are coaching and they're still trying to fence, I just don't understand. It's also a speech of personality, speech of maturity. You're looking after people.
Well, that's what I was going to add, is that it feels like you have to think. It took me a time when you asked me to start coaching just to change how I thought about fencing generally, because I wasn't looking for ways to beat people anymore. I was looking for ways to help people. To help. And it's a very different idea, I think, completely than being an athlete now. Because a competitor, you're always kind of...
We said it many times. I think a coach needs to give. Sometimes, as I said, we want to improve people in many ways, not just technically. So you need to give. A fencer doesn't have to give. A fencer is most likely very selfish person. Most champions
You
are.
have to be, yeah.
Possibly they have to be, as much as I still think it's a team sport, or at least the environment needs to be a team sport. But people are pretty selfish and they got nothing to give to anybody, really. Although you need to give to each other because you all need each other. That's a fundamental factor in what we believe, no? Everybody brings, unwillingly maybe, or unknowingly, they bring to the same bucket. Water goes there, I always say that.
It's like motor racing. Then the next one, will SAF run more comps, and of what sort? It's a two-parter, but it's another set of common questions. So will we run more competitions, and then also what sorts of competitions are we running?
We got one coming up next week for kids.
Yeah.
I believe we want to run competitions because our venue deserves that part, I think. Second, we want it because, as some people mentioned, competitions are very important, and in Australia, distances are huge, even more if you're going outside. So competing inside and meeting with the other clubs and confrontate yourself, confront with the other fencers and the other coaches, I think is always healthy. So that's important. So we need to have competition. We will do it of different ages, also different formats. I think competitions need to serve the improvement. To just do it for the sake of somebody winning doesn't go anywhere. I'm thinking about some different type of comps, some formats that can help the growth. Then who is first, who is second is almost relative.
The end part. And then the last one was one of our friends over at Marconi asked, can you coach, I should get this one properly, hold on. And then the one of our friends, David at Marconi, said, how did you, I guess for both of us, how did you get into coaching? And then can you comment on coach development? So I guess asking what you think the best ways to improve as a coach are.
Last time we talked about how you ended up coaching. Everybody has a different pathway, really. Mine was pretty, as I said before, pretty sudden because this coach told me, stop fencing and coach. He said, you have coaching qualities. And I said, no, because I don't want to look after anybody. Also, I don't really care about that part. But it was my age, I believe. I think it was right that I have coaching quality. How good, doesn't matter. But I have the feeling, and now, after so many years, after 30 plus, I feel that's what I like most, is actually coaching, giving something to whoever comes to work with me, including stay with my colleagues and so on. So that's one part. The development part, is similar to what we said about an athlete, which I believe it goes again for your life. You must have the will and the ability, and ability needs knowledge, competence, to improve. If you think you are done, if you think you are right, so you can't be too egocentric or too, what's the opposite of humble, arrogant. If you like it. Yeah. But there's another word I was thinking. Anyway, it stops you too soon. You must have that thirst, that hunger to want to improve. Doesn't matter if you're 78 or something, you must want to improve. If you want to improve, you find it. How? Then there's different ways, like fencing again. There's different ways. We are based a lot, we're trying to put it in word, and now we are writing something. We like a lot the development of instinct. How can you pass from you to the fencer something? Of course, if you say about just teaching actions, that's a simple answer. But I don't believe we simply teach actions. Actions need to go inside the fencer. So it's more complicated. So to develop the instinct is important. So as you see, for instance, I'm not that young, but still asking myself, how can I do better? And I look at people, and I got some people I respect a lot, more than everybody, my friend Andrea Magro. If I have any questions about something and I want to share, even among us, we talk, because we can do better. Never stop thinking that you can improve. Then the improvements have become marginal at one point, that's obvious. But you must want to do better.
There we go. Well, I think that's all the questions that I thought were...
I thought there was one on cooking, or maybe somebody
there was one who was asking when we're doing a cooking...
Was a suggestion to say, better talk about cooking. That's
no, I think it was that they want to do like a cooking video.
We can do a cooking show, but today...
why not?
Today we made ragu bolognese, 4 hours cooking, both pork and veal, because I think it should be that way. We added some porcini mushrooms on top, nice parmesan. There was our lunch. That was our simple lunch. A bit more than.
A
I was gonna
sandwich.
say a sandwich. Look, I didn't want to insult anybody when in cuisine, but we need to eat.
Yeah.
Also for lunch. So we won't talk much about cooking, but we do eat, as you can see, of course.
Well, I think we'll catch up again after Perth. I think that's the big one because you probably need to start getting ready to. Have you packed? I'm assuming you've packed.
No, I never packed before. Because you never know. It's like fencing, you know. The preparation step needs to be slow, and to see what's happening. So might change. You know, the plan might not go.
One of my guys called me this morning in a panic because he missed his flight by 3 minutes. So
See, because it's too late, but we got time because the flight is 8 o'clock. In half an hour I'll pack.
you might be on the same flight as him now on the new one.
They will be fine.
We'll catch up after Perth and we'll see where you go and debrief and see everything
We'll
after
talk
that.
more. Of course. Thank you.
All right, see you guys. Easy. Now, I think that was actually longer than I thought.
Even more.
I thought it was going to be 15 minutes. It was 20 minutes again.